Hi there, I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Now, today's question comes from a man who wants to know, what does it mean when your wife stops cooking and cleaning? Well, I don't think it means anything other than the fact that maybe her priorities have shifted. And so instead of us giving it a label and saying, well, it's old age, or it's middle age, or it's depression, or she's bored, or disinterested. Instead of giving it a label, let's just look at the fact that perhaps her priorities have shifted. Now, we all only have 24 hours in a day, and time is a non-renewable resource. And so if we're spending our time house cleaning, there's something else we don't get to do. So maybe, for example, her attention has shifted to something else that is demanding more time and attention than cleaning and cooking. So you have to ask yourself, what is going on? Do you have children that are of a certain age that now are involved in sports? Maybe she's running them back and forth to sports and she's gone more hours in the day than she was before. Is it that she's a new mom and she has an infant? Because that will require a boatload of time and attention that maybe she was spending cleaning the house before. Is it possible that as an older adult, she's not physically able to get down on her hands and knees and scrub and spend hours in front of the stove cooking, or some of the things that maybe she enjoyed in the past? There are a variety of things that could be going on. But here's what we do know for a fact. The priorities have shifted. That's what we know for a fact. We don't know exactly what it is, and maybe it's hard to pinpoint, but the priorities have shifted. Now, when the priorities shift, and this is typical for any human, the first tendency is to go after the thing that creates the most noise. So if that's children, or if those are sports, or if that is a new job and there's something that's demanding your attention, what we know for a fact is the last person that gets attention paid to them is the person that's meeting those demands. So while her priorities have shifted, the person that needs the most attention right now, forget about your house for a second. And this is going to sound counterproductive because as a house cleaner, I want to promote clean houses. But if your house doesn't get cleaned for a month or something, it's not the end of the world, okay? The thing that is the most important thing to consider right now is the person that needs the attention is your wife. There's something going on, priorities have shifted, and right now the person we need to focus on is your wife. What is going on, and is she taking care of herself first? Because as a mom, as a housewife, it is super easy to take care of everyone else and let your own needs go by the wayside. And so as you get older, you're going to have elder parents that you're caring for. You will have children that grow up that need extra things. They do need a taxi, and they need rides to piano lessons and guitar lessons and sporting events and school activities. And the last thing that's going to be available to your wife is time for herself. And so if for some reason the cleaning and the cooking have been put on the back burner, this is a great opportunity to get closer to your wife and to not turn away and say, hey, what's going on here? Instead of judging or nagging, my suggestion to you would be this. Take her for a walk every single night. And I'm talking about a brisk walk around your neighborhood where the two of you don't have any earbuds, you're not listening to anything, you're just talking. Because if your home and the cooking is suffering, probably your personal relationship is as well. And if you get her out and away from the element, it's going to force her to exercise, which is going to release some endorphins, so she will feel better. It will give you a chance to talk so that as you walk, you talk, and you can actually communicate and work through some of the things that are going on. And it might be that this is a really great time for you to jump in and pitch in and help out a little bit. I'm not saying that you haven't in the past. The fact that you're asking this question suggests that you're very in tune and that you're aware of what's going on and that changes are happening. And so this is a wonderful opportunity for you to jump in and say, hey, I've noticed that the house has not been cleaned in a few weeks. Is there something I could do to help out? And maybe it's that you literally put on a dusting mitt and you start dusting things. Maybe it's that you change your cooking schedule so that you're cooking one day a week or one day a month instead of expecting a meal every night at a certain time. Maybe you decide that it's time to hire a house cleaner or someone else to come in and assist with some of those chores so that your wife can in fact take care of herself. What we do know for a fact is when people are healthy themselves, they have a tendency to spread that to everyone else, because our inclination and our desire is to help everyone before we even help ourselves. So if you get out and you take your wife for a walk every day, that helps you and it helps your wife. It helps the self-esteem of your relationship, and it will help you talk through some of the things and the changes and the priorities that are shifting in your personal life. Now, I know for a fact, as my business has shifted, there are times when I was so swamped and I was so overwhelmed that things in my personal life took a back burner. And my husband would come in and say, we're going walking in 5 minutes. And I would say, I don't have time. I'm swamped. I don't have time today. And he'd say, great, we're going to leave in 5 minutes. Go get your shoes on. And literally like a little rag doll, he would drag me out to go walking. And then once I got out and I was able to just get away from everything for a few minutes, clear my head, get some oxygen flowing through my body, get my blood flowing again, kick those endorphins in, I came back and I was a much happier, much more effective person. So I wouldn't focus on the fact that your house is a mess for a month or two. We don't want it to go on for years, because then it's going to be difficult, if not impossible, to try to clear through all the junk. But if it's just a month or two, not the end of the world. But what is really important is to get to the root of what is going on. And it's literally a shifting of priorities. Because if you can't take care of yourself, that's when depression does set in. That's when overwhelm sets in. That's when exhaustion sets in. And then along with that comes broken relationships and sickness and a bunch of other things. I love the fact that you're paying attention. And I love the fact that you're in tune with what's going on in your house. So what does it mean? It means the priorities have shifted. And this is an awesome time for you to jump in, take her for a walk, and go find out what's going on. Alrighty, so that's my tip for today. And until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.